Hey guys, Dale here, back with another episode of Blueprints. We are back on our Thalnor map, our House of Stormguard playthrough, and we're going to design today a keep for Volkanar. So this is like that second settlement we sent a bunch of people to. And if you guys recall, House Stormguard took up a huge amount of the map. It was basically like the top third or half of the map even. And we also had a bunch of outside of the base structures. Like we had a market outside, we had a bunch of roads and stuff. And that kind of build is not always possible for everyone. That kind of build also requires having a lot of colonists for it to make sense, because you have people that are going to be doing work all over the map. So we're going to do a medieval style keep that's a little bit bigger than the keep that we had on the Storm Shore, but will be kind of like the entire base for this map. So I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to turn the music down just a little bit for myself. But I like to find the center of the map. So planning, let's show plans. I already kind of found it. It's right here. So we did a custom sized map here. We did 325 by 325 for this playthrough. So 163 is the midpoint. So that's 163 over, 163 up. That's our middle point. And let's go ahead and we'll start with a shape. We're not going to build the shape right there, but we'll go off to the side, just kind of like a scratch piece of paper. And let's do a 75 by 75 structure. So let's do 75, 75. And while we're doing this, we have our colonists just kind of deconstructing stuff that'll be in our way. And let's find the midpoint of this. So that's going to be, what, 35, 35 is 70. So 3 more. So 38-ish should be the midpoint. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and we'll cut this plan. We're gonna stick that right there. That looks like it'll fit pretty well. And we're gonna double layer the outside wall. We're not gonna double it up directly, but we're gonna put 2 layers of outside wall. And let's delete these. Okay, and so for this build, I do want to kind of retain our middle marks here. So let's just put across through it with roads. But I know that I want to do something have some defensive structures out on each corner. I do want to do a gatehouse. We'll have this be our main entrance. And actually, we do have all the plans from the Storm Shore. Let's load. Do we have the Storm Shore gatehouse? So, House Stormguard Gate Guard Tower. Well, we could do that, or we could do guard towers that are a little bit different. Let's do guard towers that are a little bit different since this is a different build. Let's load. Okay, House Stormguard City Gate. What did I call it? City Gate. Okay, so City Gate, let's stick you, I guess, right there. That lines up pretty well. And if we delete that stuff, that looks like it fits really good. Okay, so for the outside, let's do something 2 out, and then let's go 3 out. Does that make sense? What if we do 11? 11. Okay. And then if we do every other one, how are we feeling about that? We could do that. I think what we want to do is maybe go out 1 more. No, we can bring it in one more. So this ends up being 9. And this gives us, we'll do this as like embrasures, and then this will be the spots where they would stand for defenses, right? Oh, we need to round up some pigs, so let's do that real quick. We'll just put like a couple caravan hitching spots down, and they will tie the animals up. Back to our planning though, let's go ahead and copy this guy. Let's hit X to reverse it or mirror it, and then if we do that, okay, I like that. Let's copy these plans, and then we'll just rotate them and stick them on each corner. So we have a spot where we can like run out to the corners and take up some defensive positions and just kind of like shoot at people if they're like hammering at our walls or whatnot. We probably want to make this also a defensive position, Ancient Danger. Did we set the Ancient Danger to be deconstructed? We did not, so we will just like leave that alone. Ooh. And then we probably like, well, let's stick entrances there. And where did we stick those? Like one over. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, so this is what we'll have to play with. I don't necessarily like just having one way into the base, so we'll probably have some ways out, maybe near these defensive towers. And then what I want to do is, this will be our base area that we're working with. I feel like with a keep, we're probably going to do kind of like, you know, some kind of throne room up here. We'll build mostly against the walls. And then we'll have like this inner courtyard area. We might have a few freestanding buildings in here. But I think what I want to do is, since this is kind of the front of the keep, I'd like to do like a barracks around here. I'd like to do some stables next to the barracks. And then kind of along the sides, maybe we do some apartments for the non-nobles here. We'll do some like a crafting space. We'll do some storage. I would like to reserve an area, maybe like this area. We'll do like a little garden. Maybe we'll dev mode in like a little water feature. And maybe we'll do like a chapel right there. So that's kind of like the initial plans I have in my head. Let me play with the shape that we've kind of like started, and I'll be back with some of the planning that we've done, and then we'll go ahead and like do a dev mode build of it and see how it feels. Okay, so I tweaked the corners a little bit. I just made them a little longer. Raid Tribe of the First Men. Okay, we're gonna pause the game because we're not actually playing. We are building. And maybe what we can do is we can take a look at how we hold up. Wait, where's the raid at? How we hold up afterwards behind our keep wall. Jump to location. You guys are over there. Okay, so, oh, it's gonna be combat music for a while, I guess. That's fine. Yeah, so I made our little like corner defensive towers a little bit longer. We also added doors here so that folks can like come out if we wanted to capture someone pretty easily to like get them stabilized or whatever. I also added some exits around here. This is the midpoint, so we're a little off center with our access to this area, but we can come out and take up some defensive positions here if someone were like trying to breach our walls or something. We also have some exit points there. Similar over here. down here, we've created like a little barracks area. They have their own little seating area. And we also have a stable, and we've mirrored the same thing here. So we built all that up against the walls. We're going to have a outdoor looking blacksmith area, but we'll use invisible walls to make it not outdoors. And then over here we have our like cookhouse and food storage. We have a communal like recreation and eating area. We built some apartments here. They're all pretty similar, but we could change up the floor plan if needed. Like, maybe we don't have two children that we need to shove in a small bedroom. We can take a bed out. Or we can make this a larger dining area if it's just a single couple or whatever. But yeah, we have three pretty identical apartments here. Up here, I've created like a little kind of like holding room. I would imagine that maybe like guards are posted here, but we'll store our valuables here, and then this could be like an armory. This will be the keep. So bedrooms for nobles, maybe bedrooms for visitors, and then just like a big throne room area. We'll do kind of similar to what we did with Azurian Meadows, where we'll do a big table across here, have like a throne and then some seating, and then whoever is kind of like coming to visit with the nobles here in the keep, we'll have like a table facing them as well. And then we've done kind of like a bigger defensive area here as a way to get out. And I'm wondering if maybe we want to do the same thing that we did on the sides, and instead of having the exit through the middle, what if we just put the exit right there? That makes me feel like this is a little fragile. So what if we did that? So we'll have like an extra layer to kind of like get out through the keep into the outer wall and then into the outside world if needed. Over on the right, we did reserve this area. We'll make this a green space, little garden. We'll dev mode's like a little water in here as well, but just a leisure place for them. And we'll do a small chapel right here. Not really a chapel, but ideology room. This will be our small hospital. And then this will be some storage and some crafting facilities. If we wanted to keep this all internal, what I'm thinking is like all this space that we aren't using for trails. So like this space here, this space here, over here as well. We can use all of this for farming. It's not a huge amount of farming. This is probably enough farm area to feed maybe 15 ponds. Like, and how many ponds do we currently have? We have 21 here. So we definitely need to do some hunting, or like like a regular keep. I would imagine that like outside of the keep there might be some like a tiny village or something, and so that might be an opportunity if you were going to play with this map to build a little farm village outside, maybe even like wall it off a little bit, but it doesn't have to be as extreme or as big as what we did with House Stormguard, right? We could also like just do farming outside the keep and know that it's probably going to get burned down occasionally, but there's so much rich soil that if we over farm, we can probably like store a lot of food, and if our crops get burned down during a raid occasionally, it's probably not that big of a deal. It's actually maybe desirable that we put a farm out here, because then we just like hold up in our embrasures, and while they're busy burning our fields, we're shooting them down. Okay, well, let's get to building. We'll come back with this built. Okay, we've got it pretty much built. We need the colonists to build roofs and probably like move a bunch of junk around and stuff. I have them heading to some defensive positions, and we'll see how they do with this raid. So we're going to try and lure them to the front gate by holding the doors open here. They are heading kind of south, so it looks like they're probably after us. Let's speed things up a little bit. Oh, they are gathering for a little while. Okay, I think that is fine. Let's go ahead and set this as our home zone. Let's do that. Let's go ahead right there. And we're going to restrict everyone to home for now. And we'll let them do whatever it is they're going to do. We'll come back when the raid is ready to come for us. Okay, they are coming in. So we'll get to see how this defense works against some Neanderthals who are going to be pretty tough, but our colonists are pretty strong. Okay, here we go. And just so that you guys are aware, these corner pieces here, they are embrasures. But with the door closed, that makes it so that we can't, like, they wouldn't be able to shoot into this area. And I put these doors in front of the embrasures so that if we need to, we can just like back up and then our colonist is in full cover, right? Because in between each of these doors is an actual solid wall. And the reason that I like rotate between doors and solid walls is this gives them cover from each other. So if someone's standing here and someone's standing here, there isn't a direct line of fire there. They're kind of leaning forward to like shoot out if they needed to shoot someone right here. So hopefully, if they're missing into a wall rather into someone's skull. So a pretty non-event there. I'm going to go ahead and let these guys kind of clean things up, haul things around, maybe do some planting. We'll come back when the base looks like it's in a little bit more order and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so they've still got some hauling to do, but we have people sleeping in their barracks. We have people sleeping in our kind of apartments. I'm pretty satisfied with the way this looks. I know that I could spend like 5 more hours on this, just like adding a bunch of details everywhere. Like here in the pond, we added a bunch of reeds and lilies and a log and whatnot, picnic basket. But I think this is pretty good for like a smaller size, like medieval keep. I like that we were able to get some growing areas in here. We're planting some mulberry trees. We're planting some strawberries, rice and corn. But yeah, we'll just kind of like take a look around. We have a tailoring, a regular just like workbench and an alchemy workbench, some storage over here. It is nighttime, so you can see that it's like pretty well lit up as well. We don't have full coverage like in these hallways, but we're not really going to be wandering down those hallways too often. And they do still have some hauling to do, but it's not as grand as the cathedral in the Stormshore, but it is a nice little church for them next to the park. We have Volk and Nabal, the lords of Volkanar, here. I think what I'd like to do is I'd probably like to get some lighting in here. And then I think if we were going to spend some time playing this, we'd probably like build a piano and kind of throw some musical instruments in here, just to kind of like flesh this out, make it more of a space that it actually looks like people like live and relax in, rather than just kind of like a desolate throne room right now. We have these set to store all our gold, silver, and gems. We have our armory here, and then we've just kind of filled it in with some like wooden silk beds just to like add some stuff to the empty space here. Our little pub area. Actually, we should prioritize that as critical for like beer. We have a bunch of beer just like floating around the colony. And we've gotten to work, hunting and even making some meals. This space could be utilized for a bunch of different things, but we just decided to put drying racks and tanning racks down there. And then we have various animals hanging out in our 2 separate, not animal pens, but barns, I guess. I think that's going to be it for this one. This is a pretty straightforward one, so I'm not going to make a bunch of different plans for it. Let's just go ahead and I'll show you guys. We will copy the plans. Oh, actually, let's remove our markers. And we'll copy these plans. And we're going to save them. We'll save this one as Volkanar. And so I'll add that to the GitHub. I'll add a link in the description if you guys want to use this as is or as a template that you can kind of iterate on. If there are things that you don't like about the plans, you can kind of feel free to make changes to them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you'd like to see more medieval village builds, if you'd like to see more kind of like compressed keeps like this, or bigger builds like Azurian Meadows and the Storm Shore. And, you know, I will find some interesting maps for us to do those builds on. Thanks for hanging out. As always, until next time, have a good one. Oh no, this poor little donkey. Bye!